The glass slipped from my hand and crashed onto marble floor, its shatter echoing louder than the music filling the hall. Every face turned, every smirk deepened. Someone chuckled, careful. Another voice cut through the room, sharper and colder. "Can a dropout like you just vanish from our sight?" I didn't reply. I only smiled, crouched, and gathered the jagged pieces with my bare hand. The shards sliced my skin, streaks of red staining the crystal. Their disgust didn't wound me. It fueled me. They believed they had shamed me. What they didn't know was that they had just stirred the storm I had kept buried. There was a time I wasn't composed like this. I knew hunger, humiliation, desperation. I watched my mother grind herself to exhaustion, juggling jobs until her hands shook too badly to hold chopsticks. She passed away carrying debts that weren't even hers. Her shame became my inheritance. At 14, I abandoned school and worked whatever jobs I could find: delivery boy, janitor, servant. I polished the shoes of men who spat on me, people like the ones now sneering at that wedding. But struggle is the sharpest tutor. I learned that silence cuts deeper than argument. Every insult became fuel. I made myself a promise, not just to rise above, but to make those who mock me bow. Years of dirt under my fingernails became years of contracts signed. While they partied and laughed, I studied numbers. While they scoffed, I memorized strategy. Eventually, those same men who dismissed me gripped my hand with respect, lowering their heads like I was royalty. I didn't build an empire. I forged one. Humiliation was my fire, patience my water, secrecy my steel. My network spanned continents, layered through companies and partnerships. No one ever knew the name behind it all. That was my blade. Anonymity, fate, or maybe irony brought me here. My wife's brother, shallow and boastful, announces engagement to a woman from an old money family. Their company sparkled in public, but crumbled beneath debt. Their only hope was a contract with one of their biggest clients, my company. They had no clue. Not even my wife knew. Timing is everything, and some truths are weapons best unsheathed at the right moment. At the wedding, I played my role perfectly. Her quiet husband, unremarkable, dressed simply, invisible. The reception reeked of arrogance, the laughter too sharp, the perfume suffocating. Their eyes lingered on me, judging and dismissing. Then her uncle leaned forward, loud enough for everyone to hear. "Shame. She married a man who never made it past middle school. Embarrassing." I stayed silent, letting their words pile into a fortress of arrogance that would collapse under its own weight. When they told me to disappear, I excused myself, stepped aside, and made a call. My secretary answered. My voice didn't waver. Cancel the contract with their company. Immediately. A short pause and, understood. I returned to my chair as if nothing had happened. The music went on. The laughter continued. They thought they'd humiliated me. They didn't realize I had already pulled the floor out from under them. The downfall didn't arrive with thunder. It crept in quietly. Weeks later, shipments stalled. Creditors circled. Their board grew frantic. Then came the strike that finished them. Our company, their lifeline, severed ties. Their shares collapsed. Suppliers abandoned them. Investors tore them apart like vultures. At a board meeting filled with panic, I walked in uninvited. Paper scattered. Phones buzzed with unanswered calls. My brother-in-law's face drained of color. "You," he breathed. I gave him the same calm smile from the wedding. "I was invisible when you mocked me." I said, "Now you'll see me every time you stare at the ruins of your company." They begged, cursed, wept. I didn't shout. I didn't need to. Their destruction was already sealed. When I left, I didn't glance back. Outside, life carried on as usual. Cars honking, people chattering, the world unaware. My pulse was steady. People think revenge is a flame, loud, consuming, violent. They're wrong. Revenge is ice. It waits, it hardens, and then it breaks those who thought they could never be broken. At that wedding, they looked down on me. Now the only way they can see me is from below.